tonight for a sectional championship game. They'll be played. Well, look at everybody. I'm Bob Ford along with Bridge, and it's going to be an outstanding basketball game tonight. Mike, it's the two teams that were expected to be here.
Everybody figured Central Catholic and McCutcheon would get to the finals. It shaped up that way all week, and that's who we have tonight. Let's take you back to last night, the semifinals game. First up, we'll take a look at Central Catholic beating Jeff 77-61. CC fans didn't have a lot to cheer about at the start. Lafayette Jeff came out on fire. Drew Jeanette hit 3 3-pointers in the first quarter. 21-11, Jeff's up. But Dan Muller and the Knights got on track, putting up 26 points in the second quarter to take a 37-32 halftime lead. The Knights got outstanding play from sophomore point guard Matt Metzger. He scored 15 points, doubling his season average. Drew Jeanette did what he could, scoring 5 3-pointers and coming away with 19 points. But CC fans finally had something to cheer about as Dan Muller controlled both ends, picking up 15 rebounds to go along with 22 points. Jason Hardbeck picked up 20. Joining me now is Lafayette Jeff assistant coach John Layton. John, the Broncos did some good things to CC early on.
Yes, we wanted to deny the ball to Hardebeck and Muller and get a hand up on the other people out on the outside. And we came out aggressive and followed that game plan very well early. Unfortunately, we couldn't sustain it.
What do you think it'll take to stop CC for 4 quarters?
Well, I think they're going to have to control the inside. Muller is definitely an outstanding player. If they control the boards, I feel like McCutcheon can win the game.
Okay, thanks for joining me, John. And last night's second game, McCutcheon took on Carroll, and here's a look at that. McCutcheon had to deal with Carroll's slowdown.
Were intent on keeping the score down. Adam Harness was the only Cougar in double figures.
McCutcheon was cold from the outside, so they switched gears and went inside. Chad Peckinpah, the nice leaner, 15-8 McCutcheon after 1. The Mavericks trio of guards once again led the way. Matt Kramer with a beautiful move, and it's 25-19 McCutcheon at the half. Carroll got as close as 34-30 midway through the third quarter. Adam Harness led the Cougars with 16 points. But the Mavericks finally got things rolling, going on a 14-0 run to blow things open. Matt Kramer led the Mavericks with 17 points. Chad Peckinpah drilled the 3-pointer. He chipped in 11 points. And Matt's twin brother Scott added 14. And the Mavericks move on to the sectional championship game, 65-45. Joining me now is Carroll head coach Ed Gahape. Ed, the Cougars did some good stuff for 2.5 quarters, sticking with McCutcheon.
Yeah, we were pretty pleased. We had 2 big turnovers, but yet you look at the scoreboard, it was 34-30 with about a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. And we kept saying to ourselves, if McCutcheon lets us hang around, we were hitting some outside shots, we'll be in the game. But unfortunately, we were 2 for 18 from the threes, and that just ended up killing us and nosing some turnovers.
Now, what would it take to stop McCutcheon for 4 quarters?
Well, I think the key is not to stop McCutcheon, but for Central Catholic to handle McCutcheon's pressure. I think McCutcheon's more of a defensive team than they are an offensive team, and if CC can handle their pressure, I think it'll be a very tight ball game.
CC can control the tempo and not turn over. And Dan
Muller is exerting like he was last night. CC's got a good chance. If those things don't happen, McCutcheon's going to be awful tough to beat.
Thanks a lot, Ed,
for joining us. When we return, Bob and I will have
the starting lineup. For those of you who want to buy a house, I've got good news. Showcase Homes has opened a
Be in your own home in 9 days.
Come view the different options available in our models and custom build your home at 30 different floor plans to choose from. Pick out your new home today at Showcase Homes on Route 38 across from Kmart.
Videoland proudly presents $1.50 Kid Video.
Videoland. Hey, I've got a great idea. Why don't we go to Ramsey Exchange?
That sounds great. I'd love to look at the jewelry.
Ramsey Exchange features a big selection of jewelry at our everyday low prices. Necklaces, bracelets, rings, earrings, and pins. See the unique items in the coin department. Gold coins or silver for investing and collecting. For handguns, rifles, shotguns, ammunition, knives, and military collectibles, shop Ramsey Exchange, Elmwood Avenue by Payless.
I knew we'd find something great at Ramsey Exchange.
In this age of big corporate banks, it's nice to know there's a bank with a hometown flavor, where every customer is important, where personal service and a kind smile come naturally, even on a Saturday, and where some accounts earn interest surprisingly fast. The bright spot in banking, Bright National Bank, member FDIC.
This one's not yours.
Yeah. Sorry.
We're back at the Crawley Athletic Center. Both teams are on the court, and we're just about ready for the starting lineups here for tonight's basketball championship game of the sectional tournament. The Central Catholic Knights and the McCutcheon Mavericks both have had outstanding seasons this year. McCutcheon 20-2, Central Catholic 16-5. And I believe now we're ready for the starting lineups. Let's go to the public address announcer, Jeff Russo.
Introducing your starting lineup. First, for the McCutcheon Mavericks. At forward, a 6'2 senior, number 10, Scott Kramer. The other forward, a 6'4 senior, number 40, Ben DeFries. At center for the Mavericks, the 6'5 senior, number 44, Brandon Rose. At guard, a 6'2 senior, number 30, Matt Kramer. And the other guard, a 6'2 junior, number 24, Chad Peckinpah. The head coach of the Mavericks, Rick Peckinpah. And now for the Central Catholic Knights. And forward, a 6'2 senior, number 32, Nathan Hardebeck. And the other forward, a 6'2 senior, number 50, Eddie Salim. And center for the Knights, a 6'6 senior, number 44, Dan Muller. The head coach of the Knights, Dave Warland.
It's a sectional tournament in Lafayette without Lafayette Jeff, and that's something that's different. As the Broncos are here more often than not, they've suffered through a difficult season, and these two fine teams are here to play. And Mike, last night, when you looked at these two teams, as we see the officials, Bob Anderson and Ray Tebby it is, I thought that the Central Catholic ball game was a lot rougher and that they had to give more of a physical effort than did the Mavericks.
Right. Well, Carroll wasn't as physical because they didn't have the size or the weight to stick with McCutcheon. CC took Dan Muller out from the paint to use his quickness, but whenever they went to the hoop, they were contested every time. That took its toll on CC a little bit.
In the center circle, it'll be Muller, and he'll jump against DeFries as we're just about ready to start the 1994 sectional championship game. Muller with a tip, CC controls. This is Matt. Quarterback. for three. Got it.
That's a good sign for Central Catholic. Jason Hardebeck getting on track. He's scoring 18 points a game. They're going to need that.
The Knights come out with a press. Easily taken care of. Kramer from the corner. And he's got a three.
That's where McCutcheon can kill you. They can drive it into the paint and then kick it back out. Peckinpah and either Kramer can shoot the three very consistently.
And that was Scott Kramer. And he is the one knocking the ball out of bounds on the far side. The Knights will have it. Both teams with pressure early. And that's pretty much expected out of these ball clubs. Andy Salim with the basketball out of bounds. Metzger. Muller on the drive. Baseline jumper's no good. And Matt Kramer comes down with it for McCutcheon. Kramer on the drive. And he'll walk underneath the basket. Kramer's left foot got away from him as he tried to fake. Muller was coming from the far side, and it just slid out, and it'll be a turnover for the Mavericks.
Even though Matt Kramer's walked on that play, that's what he can do. He can beat anybody off the dribble.
Hardebeck from three-point, no good. Matt Kramer with the rebound. The Mavericks on the attack.
CC coming out in his own defense. Well, they're switching up into a matchup zone.
Big guys inside all night long.
Here's Hardebeck again, looking for the three. Nothing there. Back to Metzger. Got to really take care of the basketball against this Mav press. They do a good job in the corners with a double team.
Sometimes it seems like there's 6 or 8 of the Mavericks out there when they get all those steals. They had 27 turnovers they caused Carroll last night.
McCutcheon using their matchup 2-3. It's in a 2-on-2 at the moment. This is Hardebeck from three-point. Peckinpah with the board. Mavericks on the attack down the middle. Peckinpah with a jump shot off the glass and in.
McCutcheon looks to push it up and down the floor. Every rebound, every steal, anytime they have the ball, they're going to look to run.
7-3. McCutcheon on the lead. There's a shot from Salim from the outside. Matt Kramer with the rebound.
CC looks a little tentative, like they're forcing things right now on the offensive end.
They've got to get Bowler into the offense. He's a key for him. Here's Peckinpah from three. Off the rim, taken down by DeFreeze and put back in. It's 9-3. The Maverick on top.
As good as Bowler is inside, it's going to be tough for him at 195 pounds to block off these two 200-pounders that McCutcheon sends inside.
Hard with the basketball. Mavericks still using the zone. The Knights not able to get the ball to Muller at all, and that's very, very bad sign for them. He has got to score his 20 points.
Going to have to look for Muller to come outside, use his quickness to try to get DeFreeze or Brandon Rose out front so he can dribble past him or maybe even shoot the three-pointer.
There's Muller inside, nothing there. Back outside to Metzger. Dean Hart in the corner, he's covered up. Metzger out front. Maverick defense very, very tough right now.
Metzger or Dean Hart may need to do something out front, dribble penetration or something to get Hardebeck and Muller the ball.
Here's a blocking foul down in the lane, and it'll be Metzger. He picks up his first. The score is 9-3. As we are in the first quarter, and we've got a timeout with the Mavericks leading it 9-3 from Crawley Athletic Center.
Attention CD savers, now you can get top interest on your certificates of deposit and still have penalty-free access to a portion of your money every year. Find out about Lafayette Savings Bank's new Rainy Day CD and how you can get the best interest rate Lafayette Savings Bank can offer and still be able to withdraw some of your money should you need it for a rainy day. So if you're looking for the best CD around, come home to Lafayette Savings Bank. You'll fit right in. Lafayette Savings Bank, home of free and easy checking.
9-3 as McCutcheon is on top. The game, much as suspected, pressing defenses from both clubs. But I think the story at this point, Mike, is the fact that the Mavericks defense on the half court is just absolutely smothering the offense of CC.
Right, CC got the one shot from Harbeck, a three-pointer, and the rest of the shots look to be forced up. They're not getting any kind of open shots right now.
Dave Warland sends his Central Catholic Knights back out against Rick Peckinpah's Mavericks. And with 3:47 remaining here in the first quarter, the Mavericks have had it all their way. Good opportunity, baseline pass from Peckinpah down inside to Kramer, but he stepped on.
Blind passes and hit the spot that look like they're throwing it out of bounds. A lot of times they'll hit their man.
Man-to-man defense this time by McCutcheon. Here's Deanhart. Top of the key, three-pointers no good. Muller with a rebound. Hardebeck, and they'll set up again. Matt Kramer all the way out on Metzger, who had a big, there's a steal. Scott Kramer with the ball. He'll take it all the way with the left hand, and he scores 11-3. As the Mavericks continue to stretch their lead, Kramer has 5.
McCutcheon's going to frustrate you all night long on that defensive end.
Metzger with a big game last night. Had 15, and that was a major portion of why the Knights were able to win. They got their scoring out of Hardebeck and Muller, but Metzger was unexpected. There's the jump shot by Hardebeck, off balance, looking for the foul. Brandon Rose on the rebound.
That's not a shot he needs to be taken for CC.
Scott Kramer from 3. Rebound quite far inside. The Freeze couldn't get it. Hardebeck with the rebound. And here's that defense. The foul has been called. I believe it's going to be on Chad Peckinpah. They got the Knights in that spot they wanted right there at the corner just before they crossed the line and really shut him down in a hurry. But Peckinpah picks up foul number 1.
Sometimes Peckinpah and the Kramer twins are a little too aggressive when they get the player where they want them. They'll pick up some little fouls here and there. But Coach Rick Peckinpah lives with that when you run an up-and-down game.
Jim Johnson, number 50, into the lineup for the Mavericks. Johnson, a 6'7" sophomore. As Muller can't hit. Peckinpah on the board. Beautiful pass inside to Kramer. Won't go. Johnson with the rebound. Blocked.
That's the beauty of Dan Muller right there.
Travel called on the baseline. Muller was an animal last night against Jefferson. He had a number of blocks on one particular series. He had 3 before the Knights finally got the ball.
Neil Biggs probably had dreams of Dan Muller last night after seeing him block his shot repeatedly.
Central Catholic currently 1 out of 8 from the floor. Ooh, it's a cold start.
But you'll see Dan Muller, he took that 3. He's going to come out and use his quickness a little more. Right here's an example.
Beautiful pass to Hardebeck, cutting on baseline for 2. Hardebeck with all 5 points for Central Catholic.
But don't blink, here comes McCutcheon.
That was Matt Kramer on the drive. He brought it coast to coast. Foul is on Johnson. It'll be his first. Oh, they called it on Saline. I'm sorry, I got the wrong 50. Andy Saline gets the foul for Central Catholic.
Central Catholic can't afford to get into any foul trouble. On the replay, you can see Saline gets some ball, but he gets a lot of arm. But when the players are driving right down in there, it's hard to see the ball.
Kramer makes good on the first free throw. Shoots 56% from the stripe for the season. He'll have one more. Shot is no good. Muller with another rebound, and the Knights will see if they can't cut into this lead. 12-5. McCutcheon on top.
McCutcheon 12, Jason Hardebeck 5 right now.
Here's Muller. Back outside, Dean Hart. The three-pointer is no good, and the Mavs have it back. Scott Kramer. This is Matt Kramer on the jumper. It's long.
A couple of balls already tonight. There's a lot of the tunneling going on right now.
They'll settle down after the first quarter's over. Hardebeck on the fake. The jump shot is touched and is short. Scott Kramer got a hand on it. Peckinpah will bring it right down the middle and take the three. Rebound by DeFries inside. Beautiful pass back to Kramer, up and no good.
Muller made him change his shot.
Celine with the rebound. 24 seconds left here in the first quarter. 12-5 in favor of McCutcheon.
CC needs to get a bucket here and try to end the quarter on a positive.
You see the time in the corner of your screen. Celine, Dean Hart, Hardebeck for three, way outside. Is off and no good. That'll end the first quarter.
And it was all Mavericks and their defense
as they lead it over the Central Catholic Knights, 12-5.
In this age of big corporate banks, it's nice to know there's a bank with a hometown flavor, where every customer is important, where personal service and a kind smile come naturally, even on a Saturday, and where some accounts earn interest surprisingly fast. The bright spot in banking.
to bring you down-to-earth values right here in your own neighborhood.
Visit General Automotive Supply, your CarQuest Auto Supply headquarters. Locally owned for 25 years, we have the experience to supply you with quality name parts you need.
We're back at the Crawley Athletic Center. Looking at the tap away a moment ago as Kramer right there in your screen. Scott with the layup. Matt wearing number 30. We're ready to go with the second quarter. This time the basketball will belong to Mavericks. Twelve to 5 the score. Travis Brown just coming into the lineup. 7 points now for Kramer. Brown very quick. Played football for McCutcheon. Blocking foul will be called on Chad Peckinpah. Didn't quite get in the right position on the sideline. That's his second personal. Second team foul. Andy Celine will inbound it to Metzger.
CC shooting just 17%, the 2 of 12, and about 4 of those balls were air balls because they're trying to force their offense instead of running it.
They shoot about 47% on the season, so this is way off of their average, and you can credit that to the defense. As you see, it is still difficult. Now in a 1-3-1. Beautiful pass inside. Dean Hart in the trees. Can't get it up there, but DeFries, number 40, in the gold, will pick up the foul.
Anytime you go to block a shot and you bring your arms down at the ball, they're going to call a foul regardless whether you got the ball or not. Here you look at it. Looks like you got a lot of ball, but anytime you slap your hand backwards, every referee in America is going to call that.
Most of the time, the foul is committed with the body. You hit that ball, you pull the offensive player right to you. First shot is good by Dean Hart.
Dean Hart's a pretty good athlete. He also is on the tennis team.
Shooting free throws at 73% on the season. Knocks down both of those. Score is now 14-7 in favor of McCutcheon. About 7 minutes left here in the first half. Peckinpah with a running jumper. Will not fall. Muller on the rebound. CC not able to run tonight against McCutcheon, as the Mavericks have done a good job of getting back in their defense in a hurry.
All 5 of the Mavs can run really well, so they're going to get back quickly. Travis Brown, who was the tailback for the McCutcheon football team, so he's quick.
That's Celine with the ball way out in the court. As Central Catholic sets it up, and little frustration on the part of the Knights as they bark at one another, trying to figure out how to break this defense that McCutcheon has put up. Dean Hart to Muller. Beautiful shot. And lays it in off the board.
Very athletic move by Dan Muller. That's a beautiful shot.
Terrific move by Muller. Great pass. It's now 14-9. Let's see if that brings Central Catholic to life. Travis Brown on the drive. I believe they're going to catch him for traveling in the lane. Another turnover for McCutcheon. That's number 3. And we're going to see Matt Kramer back into the lineup to replace Travis Brown. So McCutcheon back with their starting lineup on the court. Central Catholic had their starting lineup, and so now Nick Rose is coming into the lineup at 5'10". He's a junior, 155 pounds. And Brian Stapleton.
Rose gave CC a big lift in the first quarter last night against Lafayette. Jeff, he hit a couple buckets that helped them get over the quick start by the Broncos.
Stapleton, a junior. Rose also a junior. That's Stapleton with the ball. Here's Dean Hart. McCutcheon giving Celine a lot of room on the outside.
CC's pretty small right now. All 3 of the guards are under 6 feet tall. 5'10's the biggest one out there.
Just can't find a way to get through. Muller is going to have to use his athleticism to help this call along and get some of those jump shots in the lane. There's Muller on the jumper. It won't go. Back up and in. The score by Nick Rose. Rose, his first 2 points of the ball game. It's now 14-11, only a 3-point differential. 5 minutes left here in the first half. Peckinpah from 3-point. He got it.
That'll silence the CC crowd a little bit.
Peckinpah with 5, 17-11. McCutcheon on top.
There's the pressure defense. It seems like there's 8 guys out there.
Good shot by Matt Kramer off the feed from Peckinpah. It was Scott Kramer on the steal. And the turnovers really count big in a game like this.
McCutcheon's talented trio, the Kramer twins and Peckinpah, have 14 of the 19 points already.
Score is 19-11. Here's the shot inside. Celine is up, no good. Muller over the top. He'll draw the foul. Going for the rebound.
CC is getting a lot of pressure on the outskirts of the 3-point line, and so when Muller comes out to get the ball, he can't get back inside to rebound, and McCutcheon can just make kind of like a little cup around the basket and put 3 or 4 guys in there and get every rebound.
Chad Peckinpah has gone out. Travis Brown is back in. Jim Johnson comes in replacing Brandon Rose. Andy Wise, number 34, checking into the lineup for the first time for Ben DeFries. Also back in is Harbeck. And Metzger checked back into the lineup. So CC has Rose and Hardebeck out front. Metzger is down under the back. Stapleton in the lineup. Number 34, and of course, Dan Muller. This is Scott Kramer. Finds Travis Brown, who turns it over again. Travis saw the big guy coming, and you know what happens. He got a little panicked, and he turned the ball over. 3:53 remaining here in the second quarter. It's McCutcheon 19 and Central Catholic 11.
Travel the world without leaving Lafayette.
round-trip business class airfare for two to Munich, Zurich,
Rome, and many other exciting destinations. Attend Travel Expo 94 on March 18th and 19th, brought to you by Imperial Travel.
There's the story on the screen, 19-11. Here's that pass a moment ago, and this was a dandy. Came from Dean Hart, and there's Muller, and I tell you what, you don't see many high school guys that can do that.
Right, Muller passed up an opportunity to go to either Dayton, Toledo, or Evansville in the early signing period, hoping he could have a good senior season and maybe get a better offer, and I think it paid off for him.
Playing well right now. He has been smothered a bit tonight by McCutcheon, who really have paid a lot of attention to where he is on the court. And it's going to take a Hardebeck or a Metzger from the outside to loosen this one up. Metzger out front with the ball. Guarded by Matt Kramer. That's Dean Hart into the corner. Hardebeck. Nice fake by Hardebeck. Little short jumper. He got jumped out of position. 19-13 is the score as Hardebeck nails that one.
Hardebeck's got 9 of the 13 CC points. He seems to be the only guy that can get a shot.
Johnson with the left hand on the inside. It's an easy basket for the Mavs. 21-13 now. 3:14 remaining here in the first half. 2-1-2 full court pressure. And they'll bring it all the way back to half court and sometimes even on the quarter court. Now they fall back into their normal defense.
CC needs more dribble penetration against this zone, maybe to kick it out.
Metzger is not nearly as active as he was last night. Boy, that ball was right into the midst of it. There's a shot inside, will not fall as Rose tried to put it home on a pass from Muller. Foul is going to be on Andy Wise. That'll put Rose at the free throw line for 2. Wise has 1 foul.
You look at a replay. Rose faked about everybody he could before he put it up. Got the foul. See if he can hit a couple free throws.
Rose only 5'10", playing down inside against Wise that time at 6'2", nails the first free throw.
Nick Rose, also a football player, played wide receiver for the Knights, Scott Muncie's team this year.
Andy Boleyn ready to check back into the lineup. Rose hits the second free throw, and he'll check out. Got nailed last night. You can see he's got stitches over the left eye. Was just out of the ball game for a couple of minutes while they got him patched up and came right back.
The trainer told me after the game he was all proud. He wanted me to look at Rose's stitches.
Shot is no good by Kramer. Muller high for rebound, and you heard him bark when he got it. 21-15, nearing the 2-minute mark in the second quarter. McCutcheon's defense, very, very sticky. Muller with the move inside, can't quite get it. Nice tip out by Muller. Dean Hart retains the possession for Central Catholic.
CC looked successful on that attempt to clear out one side and get the ball to Muller, with the other 2 guards standing on the other side of the court.
McCutcheon's defense is beginning to pull CC way out from the basket. Handling the ball 25 and 30 feet from the hoop. Hardebeck. Metzger for 3, got it.
That's exactly what CC needs. Somebody to be a 3-point threat or an outside threat to maybe open things up a little bit for Muller on the inside.
It's a 3-point ball game as Central Catholic has fought its way back in.
CC's crowd getting into it a little bit more. That'll help out.
Inside Johnson. Johnson with the left hand. Can't get it. Hardebeck on the rebound. Taken away by Wise. Kramer off the board and in. 23-18 as Matt Kramer scores. Mavericks very, very tough on their own offensive board. Metzger again. That's 2 in a row. three-point area. It's a two-point ball game, 23-21. 34 seconds. You see it in the corner of your screen. Matt Kramer with a jumper from 15. It'll count. Six points for Kramer.
Bucket was good.
The foul is called on Andy Wise on the inside. That's his second. No free throws yet. 5 team fouls.
But just when it looks like CC is getting a little momentum and playing with a little emotion, there's one of the Mavericks knocking down a shot. They seemed undaunted.
Celine to inbound the ball, finds Dienhart. 25 seconds. Muller. Well, you don't want to get caught in a corner against McCutcheon.
No, especially with 12 seconds left in the half.
Metzger with 7. Hardebeck from 3 won't go. Travis Brown on a rebound. And time runs out in what has been a most interesting first half. The McCutcheon Mavericks put up a tough zone defense. It's a matchup. And they gave CC everything they wanted there until about the last 2 minutes, Mike, where it finally began to turn around and the Knights found a way to score.
Well, CC put up 16 points in the second quarter opposed to only 5 in the first quarter. So they started to figure out the zone a little bit. But the pressure defense of McCutcheon is still giving CC problems. And I think in the locker room they're going to need to figure out somehow something to do. Matt Metzger hitting those 2 3-pointers helps out a lot on the outside to soften things up for Muller.
Well, we've got a very busy halftime for you. The score is 25-21. McCutcheon in the lead, and we'll be back to the Crawley Athletic Center in just a moment.
Those of you who want to buy a house, I've got good news. Showcase Homes has opened a display on Route 38. So don't buy a house in the dark. Come into the light at Showcase Homes. See all the advantages of quality construction in a controlled environment in just a few short weeks. Be in your own home in 90 days. Come view the different options available in our model and custom build your home with 30 different floor plans to choose from. Pick out your new home today at Showcase Homes on Route 38 across from Kmart.
CarQuest, America's auto parts giant, puts the buying power of over 2,000 stores to work to bring you down-to-earth values right here in your own neighborhood.
Visit General Automotive Supply, your CarQuest Auto Supply headquarters. Locally owned for 25 years, we have the experience to supply you with quality name parts you need and trust. General Automotive Supply has 2 convenient locations to help you. 1060 Sagamore.
You definitely have an opportunity to come back.
I'm Bob Ford along with Mike Bridges, and we're here at the Crawley Athletic Center where we've got 2 really fine ball clubs fighting it out, Mike.
And it's been defense so far for both clubs. And
a lot of defense for McCutcheon, not nearly enough defense for CC.
Well, McCutcheon lives and dies by their pressure defense. Rick Peckinpah says that's his trademark. That's what he tries to establish every year. And he's got a very athletic team. And with the Kramer twins, Chad Peckinpah and DeFries and Rose can run well. So he has a lot of different things he can do with his defense. We've seen that in the first half. And then CC is struggling a little bit on the offensive end. But they're not playing too bad defense.
It's been a tough ball game for Muller, who's really struggled trying to get into the offense. Been swamped anytime he got near the paint, and they're going to have to find a way to get him the ball.
Right. The big thing about Dan Muller that you find when if you follow CC is he's unselfish, and a lot of times you've seen a couple of times down low that he could have taken a shot and he went and passed it underneath. I think Dan Muller at this point, being down 6 or 4 at the half, he needs to establish himself, get a few shots under his belt, then maybe he can distribute it.
On the other end, Matt Kramer has had an outstanding half, and they've got to find some way to slow him down.
Well, you don't know if you're guarding Matt or Scott right now. Matt's got 6 points and Scott's got 7, and then Chet Peckinpah's got 5. And it's just a great situation that Rick Peckinpah has with the athleticism out at the front with those 3 guys. I mean, it's like a 3-guard offense, but one of the guys can guard a forward.
Well, the score at halftime, 25-21. We've got a lot more to come, including the second half of play, and we'll be back for all of that in just a moment.
Rifles, shotguns, ammunition, knives, and military collectibles. Shop Ramsey Exchange, Elmwood Avenue by Payless.
I knew we'd find something great at Ramsey Exchange.
You've heard about the Treehouse in Monticello. It has quite a reputation, especially among folks who appreciate good food. Hi, I'm Bill Fraser. Let me tell you a little bit more about the Treehouse. The Treehouse's own choice meat is cut fresh every day. Recipes are prepared from scratch, and the salad bar features the finest salad dressings and homemade soups. For good food fast, not fast food, come to the Treehouse. Ah, the good food restaurant.
Located on Highway 24, across from Twin Lakes Schools.
Welcome back to the Crawley Center. We're at halftime of the Lafayette sectional with McCutcheon taking on Central Catholic. Right now joining me is Lafayette Jeff 2 sports star Kelly Heath. Thanks for joining me, Kelly.
Sure.
You've had a pretty good senior season up to this point, don't you think?
Yeah, I've had a great senior year. I really couldn't be any happier with the way things have turned out. You know, you always want your senior year to go the best and be the most successful because it's the one you're really going to remember. And we went down to the state finals in volleyball and did a really nice job, and then we turned right around and came back and had a really great basketball season, so I'm really happy.
Well, let's go all the way back to the fall and talk about that volleyball season. You took on Muncie Burrs in the finals. You took a set from them, but you just didn't have enough to win.
Yeah, well, you know, they're 4-time state championships, and that really showed. You know, they were fundamentally tough. We came out in the first game, and we played really hard, beat them the first game, and they didn't get rattled. They came back, and, you know, what can you say? You know, they're a state championship team, and, you know, can't be upset with losing to something like that. So.
You went right from volleyball into basketball, and you ran into some problems with your knee early on.
Yeah, I had a little bit of tendonitis in my knee early in the season, but it really didn't bother me once I got, you know, started getting treatments on it. It was fine. And towards the end of the season, I really didn't notice it at all.
Talk about your season a little bit. You guys were on an up and down roller coaster, but you ended really well.
Yeah, we were, you know, we started the season so late because of volleyball. We were really inconsistent at the beginning, but we really pulled together at the end of the season. We made a great run for state, but, you know, when you run into a team like Lake Central, again, they're a really good team, and you can't be disappointed losing to the state champions. We played hard, and I think we had a really great season besides that. So,
what memories are you going to take away from Lafayette, Jeff, after this year?
I think, I'll definitely remember, you know, being the state runners up. I think most of all remember the coaches and all the time they put in, and my friends on the team. It was just a really great experience. So.
All right, thank you, Kelly, for joining us at halftime, and we'll have more after this.
Videoland proudly presents $1.50 Kid Video. $1.50 Kid Video. Only at Videoland.
Out with the old, in with the new.
Huntington National Bank of Indiana.
Welcome back to the Crawley Center at halftime, where Central Catholic is losing to McCutcheon right now, 25-21. Let's take a look at those halftime statistics. You see the score, 25-21. Field goal percentage, McCutcheon up to 48%. CC shooting at a 33% clip, up from the 17 they shot in the first quarter. Free throws are fairly even, and rebounds, McCutcheon's leading with 16, but they only got 3 in the second quarter. And the turnovers are even at 4, and it's been a pretty well-played game up to this point.
It's really interesting when you look at the turnovers. Most of the turnovers by CC were turned into baskets by McCutcheon, but it was not the same going in the other direction, as the Central Catholic Knights just were not able to put that ball in the hoop a couple of times when they had that opportunity. They're still working on the three-point competition, and they had the slam dunk competition before the basketball game, and we'll try to get for you before the game is over who won and who participated in this particular activity, which is an interesting thing here, I think, in the tournament. Wasn't around when you and I played, but they put it in, and it's kept some people interested.
Sure, it's an exciting move, because you see Jeff Spann from Harrison, Drew Jeanette from Jeff. Even though your team loses, you still have an opportunity to progress and maybe get to state in something other than a team sport.
I think what they're doing now on the court is they're having a shoot-off between those two gentlemen, as they both, I believe, had 8 3-pointers in the 1 minute that they had to shoot earlier, and they're trying to find out who is going to move on to the regional round.
Drew Jeanette ought to see if he can use those 5 3-pointers he hit against CC yesterday, use those to his advantage tonight.
He did a nice job in that ball game and kept Jefferson in it with his long-range shooting, and has been a good long-range shooter over his career.
It's too bad for Drew Jeanette, because he's the last surviving member of the team that went to the state finals, and it's unfortunate for him to go out, and he had never lost a sectional up until this year.
He was the youngster on the club, and finishes out his senior campaign as he shoots here on his home court, and that can't hurt.
No, it can't, and he had to take over Richie Hamill's position, and that's not an easy task to follow Lafayette Jeff's all-time leading scorer.
The score here at halftime is 25-21. The McCutcheon Mavericks lead it, and it looks like Jeanette couldn't get the job done. And Jeff Spann is going to be the winner from Harrison, and he'll move on to the next level in the regional tournament next weekend, and we'll have that tournament for you here on Channel 18, and it'll start at 8 o'clock. It should be a good tournament. We'll try to get some scores from around the area for the teams who are going to come in to play against the winner of tonight's ball game. 25-21. They show 5 minutes left on the scoreboard clock before the second half begins, and what seems like a 25-minute halftime, Mike. We'll be back to the Crawley Athletic Center in just a moment.
Here's where it all begins. If you're looking for quality sound for business and industry, we're so much more than meets the eye. If you need paging, music, intercom, closed-circuit TV for security, music on hold for your office, store, factory, warehouse, storage area, call us at Lafayette Electronic Supply. Let one of our experts show you how you can save time and money. Lafayette Electronic Supply, we've got it now.
You see the score on your screen, 25-21, as we wait for the two teams to come back out onto the court. The only difficulty with the three-point competition is that if you have a tie and you have to play it off as we did here, then you have an extra long halftime. The clock now is started at 4:56 and counting down as the Mavericks come back out onto the court to prepare for the second half of action. And the Kramer boys, as expected, very, very difficult to stop tonight. Chad Peckinpah has had an awfully good ball game at the Twin Lakes sectional. In the fourth quarter, it's Twin Lakes 61, Rensselaer 35.
Of course, Twin Lakes upset Tri-County last night, and a big upset because Tri-County was obviously favored to win the Twin Lakes sectional and probably had a good shot to move on possibly to the semi-state. So it looks like the Indians are playing really well right now.
It always happens at tournament time when you start to play, things happen. Here's another score in the fourth quarter. Benton Central leads Seeger 67-58, and Seeger with their girls team and guys team both have had great success this year, although tonight they're having some problem with Benton Central.
BC's really come on lately. They've played most of the county teams, done really well, but they've turned up the offense here in the last 3-4 weeks.
As we look at the individual scoring in the first half of play for McCutcheon, Scott Kramer had 7 points. Matt Kramer had 7, so there were 14 points with the Kramer twins. Peckinpah with 5, DeFries had 4, and Johnson finished with 2. For Central Catholic, Metzger had 6 on 2 consecutive three-pointers. Rose had 4, Deanhart had 2, Hardebeck had 7, and Muller only had 2 points in the first half, and that is a big problem if you're from Central Catholic.
I think if you ask Dave Warland, how would you like to be down 4 points and only have Dan Muller with 2 points, that he would be like it but not like it. He'd hate to see Muller only have 2, but he'd like to still be in the ball game.
We'll have to watch here in the third and fourth quarter to see if the Knights do in fact get tired. We mentioned earlier that they really although winning the ball game big at the end against Jeff, they took a pretty good physical beating against the more brawny Jefferson players on the inside. So they may have some bumps and bruises that will bother them as they get a little tireder as the game progresses.
Well, Biggs and Greer are big inside, little play on words, big inside for Jeff. And, you know, Muller at 195 is their biggest man, so we'll just see, because the Mavericks play at this pace all year long, and the Knights don't.
Well, we're getting closer to the second half of play. The score again 25-21 in favor of the Mavericks. We'll be back to the Crawley Athletic Center in just a moment.
At the High Spot Cafe in Seattle, it wouldn't be breakfast without cinnamon rolls on the counter and CBS This Morning on the set. At the Baton Rouge Fire Department, they like homemade biscuits with red-eye gravy and the way Mark does the weather. Here in Lafayette, we go to the Downtowner for biscuits and gravy and a look at Lafayette Live This Morning on TV 18. With more local news and weather, it seems people around here also know a good breakfast when they see one. CBS This Morning and Lafayette Live This Morning on TV 18. Breakfast for your head.
We're back at the Crawley Athletic Center, and there's another score from the North Montgomery sectional, and it's dandy. Crawfordsville leads by 2 over Southmont in the fourth quarter, and they must be having a lot of fun in that ball game.
It's going to come down to the wire, and that's the beauty of Hoosier hysteria when you can get a barn burner like that one.
In the foul department, Peckinpah has 2, and Wise has 2. Here's a look at Peckinpah and what he can do on the outside as he nails the 3. And that's one thing this club does pretty well.
They shoot the three-point very well. The other night, they only got 4, and right now they only have 2 in the first half, but if they have their way in the second half, they'll have a lot more.
Nobody else with more than 1 foul on either team, so the only 2 guys in trouble is Peckinpah and Wise, and neither one of these teams very deep on the bench. So maybe 7 players. McCutcheon may go 8. So anybody getting into foul trouble can create a lot of problems for their respective teams.
If McCutcheon gets into any foul trouble with their guards, they bring in Travis Brown. But outside of that, you're not going to see another guard come off the bench. We have a final from the Twin Lakes regional. Twin Lakes has defeated Rensselaer 70-43.
Ooh, they blew them out. Both teams back with their starters. This is Metzger with the ball. CC on the attack. It's Metzger, Deanhart, Muller, Saline, and Hardebeck for the night. Kramer, Peckinpah, Rose, Kramer, and DeFries. For McCutcheon as Muller makes the score on the inside, and he gets off right at the top of the second half.
That's a good sign for CC, and they pull within 2 points.
CC using a 1-2-2 or a 3-2 zone to try to change up some of McCutcheon's offense.
That shows you the athletic ability of Muller to be out top on this zone.
Second ball from 3, no good. Celine with a rebound. Hardebeck looking for 3, not there. Peckinpah quickly back. McCutcheon in the man-to-man. 25-23. Little over 7 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Muller from 3, no good. DeFries with a rebound. And Matt Kramer will bring it up for McCutcheon. Over to brother Scott. Off the rim, no good. Muller with another rebound. CC beginning to run. Hardebeck. He can't get it to fall.
Hardebeck made up his mind he was going to shoot that layup regardless.
Travel called down the lane. Another turnover for McCutcheon. Their first here in the second half. CC gets the ball back. 25-23. 6.5 to go here in the third.
The teams have picked up the pace heavily in the second half. They were tired of that long halftime as well.
Andy Celine back to Dean Hart. This is Muller. Kramer on the steal and the layup. Matt Kramer does an outstanding job of anticipating the passing lane. He's got 9 points. A near steal by brother Scott. This is Hardebeck. Brandon Rose on him. A long one by Metzger off the front rim and no good. Scott Kramer on the rebound to brother Matt. And McCutcheon is on the attack.
Metzger maybe needed to dribble in a couple of steps and try to take that shot. That'll drive Coach Dave Worland crazy.
Peckinpah, Kramer. Brandon Rose with a jump shot off the rim and no good. DeFries gets the rebound. There's a Major League foul going to be called on Muller as Matt Kramer tried to go down the lane. Muller's got 2 fouls now. Matt Kramer will take it inside on you. He doesn't care how big you are.
He's not afraid of anybody, but you notice that he went inside, got the contact from Muller. We'll take another look at it. Got the contact, then put it up to make sure he was going to get a couple of foul shots and not have to take it out of bounds.
Matt Kramer with 2, nails the first one.
Over at the Northmont region, Crawfordsville and Southmont have now gone to overtime, tied at 73, so that turned it into a dandy.
Kramer misses the second one. Hardebeck draws the rebound and gives it to Metzger. Andy Celine's had a lot of space tonight as McCutcheon has chosen to give him the shot if he wants it. Muller on the jumper. It'll not go in. Taken off by Matt Kramer. Peckinpah on the sideline. He loses the ball out of bounds. It'll go back to Central Catholic.
Celine hit a 3-pointer against Jeff. They left him open, so he may need to try one here and show McCutcheon that, hey, I can shoot the ball.
He at least has to take a dribble or 2 towards the basket and try the jump shot. He's allowing them to really pull their defense back to the inside and clog the lane. Here's Muller, top of the key. Hardebeck from 3. He got it.
Good ball rotation from CC to take it from one side to the other.
Great move down the middle by Matt Kramer as he counters for McCutcheon. It's 30-26. Kramer's got 12. Central Catholic just can't seem to close that gap and get this game tied. Every time they make a big bucket, McCutcheon comes right back.
We'll see if CC can have some good ball rotation again like they did the last time down. Might have been their best offensive set of the night.
Skip pass over to Celine, back to Metzger. Here's Hardebeck for 3. Off the rim, no good. Peckinpah with a rebound. In the freeze, pass inside to Kramer. Scott Kramer scores.
A couple of more of those, and Moreland may be calling timeout for CC because right there's another turnover by CC, and you can see McCutcheon's getting more and more confidence, taking a little more chances every time down the floor.
We're going to get a timeout called by Central Catholic. The score is 32 for McCutcheon and 26 for the Knights.
Travel the world without leaving Lafayette. Imperial Travel presents Travel Expo 94 at Howard Johnson's on March 18th and 19th. Experience what it's like to visit the Cayman Islands in Thailand. Find out what it's like to ride a riverboat, a train, or board a cruise ship. Admission is free with door prizes totaling over $100,000 in travel and gifts. Win round-trip business class airfare for two to Munich, Zurich, Rome, and many other exciting destinations. Attend Travel Expo 94 on March 18th and 19th. Brought to you by Imperial Travel.
Here's what happened just a moment ago. Double team in the far corner, and it's Matt Kramer who does such a good job of anticipating that passing lane. Gets the easy two at the other end, and the McCutcheon Mavericks lead at 32-26. 3:44 remaining in the third quarter of play.
Matt Kramer's come out and scored 5 points in this third quarter, and like I said, going into the break, McCutcheon's playing with a lot of confidence right now. The more confidence they play with, the more chances they'll take.
Dan Muller's had a tough night. You saw him just a moment ago. He's got to get into this offensive attack. Got Kramer with the ball. Peckinpah. Matt Kramer. Dean Hart picks up Scott. The three's down low on the baseline, trying to move on Celine. Peckinpah from three, it won't go. Dean Hart with a rebound, and Metzger will bring it up.
At 5'9", Dean Hart pulled down that rebound.
On the drive, Hardebeck is fouled and will go to the free throw line as CC continues to try to get down ahead of the defense. The foul is on Scott Kramer. It's his first foul in the ball game, and the first team foul for McCutcheon here in the second half.
Most people should be familiar with Jason Hardebeck. He's an outstanding pitcher for the Knights baseball team. Pitched them to a sectional title a couple of years ago.
Hardebeck nails the first of 2 free throws. Now has 11 points, looking for number 12. Off the front rim, but Dean Hart gets another rebound, and he'll be fouled. Matt Kramer will pick up the foul. He just flat ran over Dean Hart in trying to get that rebound. That's the second foul. And, well, they say it's his first foul. It'll be the second team foul. Here's a look at it.
Matt Kramer just went after the ball, and it's amazing that he only has 1 foul, as many chances as they take.
Metzger on the pass to Celine, skips off of his hands and goes out of bounds, and McCutcheon will get back.
Celine just took a look inside before the ball got there. It happens to everyone.
CC back into the man-to-man. Hardebeck nearly had the steal. Peckinpah on the jumper off the rim and good. Celine can't get the rebound. It goes to the freeze. Peckinpah in the corner. Muller with a big rebound. Finds Hardebeck at the other end. Freeze two. 32-29. McCutcheon still with the lead. Kramer with a quick shot. None of the other Mavericks were ready for it. Hardebeck draws the rebound. Metzger will bring it back. And a three-pointer right here ties this one up.
CC hanging tough. They're gritty. Right there, Celine needs to maybe take a dribble in and show that he can shoot.
Metzger to Hardebeck. Peckinpah and Hardebeck. Here goes Muller. Nice fake, didn't get the shot. Hardebeck down to baseline, finds Peckinpah away, and he takes it. Peckinpah down now in the middle. Here's Matt Kramer. Beautiful move inside. He draws the foul from Muller on the body as Matt Kramer made a nice move right down the right side of the lane. Protected the ball well with his body, and Muller committed the foul. That's number 3 on Muller, so he's got to be very careful. Dave Worland looks on. Worland has been honored recently with a national award. Will be presented in Anaheim, California for his contribution to Catholic education, as he is also the principal at Central Catholic.
So CC and Dave Worland will talk about it as they're down.
But only 3 points at the moment.
Turned into a pretty good ball game.
We look at rebounding, Mike. DeFries has 7 for McCutcheon. On the other side, Muller has 6 for Central Catholic. So there's a real battle going on the boards.
Right, is the leading rebounder for CC, while DeFries leads the Mavericks in rebounding with both on the offensive and defensive end. But Muller's has had some exciting rebounds, just yanking it out of there, slapping it, and taking it down the court.
Leading scorers in the contest, Matt Kramer with 12 points for McCutcheon. Hardebeck has 13 for CC. Here's a look at that play just a moment ago. Good pass inside, and Scott Kramer on the scoring end for the McCutcheon Mavericks, and we haven't seen a lot of fast breaks out of them tonight. A few, but not a lot.
It's a low-scoring game. I think the Mavericks average about 74, 78 points a game, and right now only have 32. They would like to have more. I think they'd like to have it at a more down pace.
Matt Kramer at the free throw line. First one won't fall.
It's kind of interesting. Matt Kramer is also on the golf team. He and Scott Kramer both led the Mavericks to a state berth last year.
He gets 1 of 2. That's about his average for the year. He shoots 56%. Travis Brown will come in and replace Matt Kramer. And here comes Johnson into the lineup. He'll replace Brandon Rose, as Kramer is 3 of 6 free throws for this evening.
Mavericks come out with a full court pressure again, trying to get the inbound pass.
Dean Hart finds Hardebeck, but he can't find a basket. Muller on the rebound. It won't go, but he's fouled.
Muller's getting a lot more aggressive, and he's taking those shots. He's not looking to pass anymore, and he got the foul. Too bad.
Let it go down. Johnson will draw the foul inside. It's his first.
Team foul number 3 as Muller goes to the line.
Here's another look inside. Muller went straight up with it, and Johnson just got him on the arm. That sends Muller to the line.
First shot is good. That's his 5th point in the ball game. He averages, well, let's see, it's in the 20s, about 24 points a ball game. There's point number 6.
For 31.
McCutcheon still on top. Central Catholic back into the 3-2 zone. Block. CC with the basketball. That's Metzger.
A wonderful block by Muller.
Chad Peckinpah called for the reach-in foul. That's team foul number 4. It'll be number 3 on Peckinpah. Central Catholic on an upbeat at the moment. 57 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play. They're down only 2. Matt Kramer will check back in. Chad Peckinpah, after drawing foul number 3, will go to the bench. Central Catholic still with the basketball.
CC can tie it with a basket here, and the first time they've been tied since, I think, 0-0.
Been a long way back for CC. They got down big early. Muller with a jumper. It won't go, and DeFries has the rebound. Travis Brown picked up by Metzger. 27 seconds left in the 3rd. Hardebeck draws the foul. A little bump out front against Matt Kramer.
I was just going to say that CC looks like they've gotten a lot more aggressive on the defensive end. They're playing a lot more physical. And Hardebeck just a little bit too physical, but you can't ever say no to a player that's trying to be aggressive.
Hardebeck has his first foul. Muller went out. Good move to protect him as Rose comes in. With only 24 seconds left here in the quarter, you would not want him to get foul number 4. Also coming out is Hardebeck. As number 14, Jay Schmuck checked into the lineup. 5'9" senior. Tom Vaughn coming in, number 20. Number 52 is Mark Elsner into the lineup. So Dave Worland trying to get just a little extra time, a little extra rest for his club. And we'll get them back, I'm sure, right at the top of the fourth quarter.
It's a good move because McCutcheon's going to hold the ball and get the last shot. So at worst, he can be down 4 or 5 points.
Well, you have fouls to give here. So if you want a foul right at this point, not on a shot. Travis Brown from Matt Kramer. And the last effort will go over the top and out of bounds. So after 3 quarters of play, it's McCutcheon 35 and Central Catholic 31.
It's a fact. Here in Central Indiana, 4 of the top 5 best-selling vehicles are Chevrolets. Chevrolet continues to lead the way with special value Chevrolet no-haggling one-price deals on 4 separate 1994 Berettas. Deal 1, equipped with 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, driver's side airbag, air conditioning, AM/FM stereo, intermittent wipers, rear window defogger, 5-speed manual transmission with overdrive and more. This no-haggle Beretta price is only $11,795. We've got the deals now at IHSAA Lafayette.
You've heard about the Treehouse in Monticello. It has quite a reputation, especially among folks who appreciate good food. Hi, I'm Bill Fraser. Let me tell you a little bit more about the Treehouse. The Treehouse's own choice meat is cut fresh every day. Recipes are prepared from scratch, and the salad bar features the finest salad dressings and homemade soup. For good food fast, not fast food, come to the Treehouse. Ah, the good food restaurant.
Located on Highway 24, across from Twin Lakes Schools.
Bob Ford and Mike Bridges back at the Crowley Athletic Center, a 35-31, and here's what Dan Muller can do when he gets loose.
It's a beautiful block. Johnson never even saw it. Thought he might have an easy basket, but there's Dan Muller coming over for the block. The teams are shooting right now. CC's just shooting at 32% for the game, while McCutcheon's hitting at a 43% clip. Not what either team would like to shoot at this point.
McCutcheon has the ball to start the fourth. CC puts up the 3-2 zone. And the Mavs will see if they can find a way to score off of it. Beautiful pass inside to Ben DeFreeze. And he scores to make it 37-31.
You just can't say enough for McCutcheon's trio of guards.
Travis Brown made a beautiful pass to the inside. DeFreeze picked it up and put it right in the bucket.
CC seems a little confused on which offense they're running. Dan Muller not real sure.
Metzger with a giant three-pointer from way outside comes up short. McCutcheon has it back, and that 2 points at the end of the third quarter looks big at this point.
Sure does. CC had 3 guys running one offense and 2 guys running another.
Now they get back into the 3-2. A couple of them were playing man-to-man. Muller was out front trying to play the 3-2. They're going to have to put out and force the action. McCutcheon, the 6-point lead, would be very happy just to stand out front and let the clock run out.
Sure, and in high school you do have the 5-second rule.
Well, Nick Rose calls the foul. Johnson will go to the free throw line as they're separated down on the baseline by the officials.
Seems like a lot of the players are talking. Chad Kramer's talking to Nick Rose, and you just hate to see this. It's been a well-played and well-officiated game to this point. And you hate to see it kind of get ugly here late.
Rose wanted to make sure that Johnson did not get the basket. And he may have made just a little more sure than what Johnson thought was necessary.
At 6'7", Johnson, I don't think likes a 5'10" guy riding down to the ground either.
So Johnson will go to the free throw line with 2. His team leads by 6 with 6.5 minutes left in ball game. Andy Salim, number 50, will check back into the ball game. And Rose will come out. Johnson, a 62% free throw shooter.
Another final, this one for Greencastle.
If you're interested, South Putnam defeated Rockville 57-34.
Johnson with 3 points in the ball game, looking for number 4. Got it. 39-31.
After the game, Metz will say, I saw him all the way.
3-pointers no good by Scott Kramer, but his brother Matt gets the rebound, and McCutcheon back on the attack. Matt Kramer will try the 3. It won't go, and brother Scott gets the rebound.
The Kramer twins versus CC right now.
Guys have something going. Here's Matt on the drive. Tries the ball inside, gets his own rebound to brother Scott, who tries a 3. 42-33. McCutcheon leads it.
The Kramer twins look like the only guys doing anything for either team on that possession.
Kramer had 12 as Matt Kramer commits the foul. It's number 2, 5 on the team. Very confusing when you're calling Kramer to Kramer to Kramer.
Right. Maybe we'll get Dustin Hoffman in there somehow.
From the North Montgomery sectional in overtime, Southmont and Crawfordsville are tied, and that looks like maybe after the first overtime. So they'll be throwing it up again for another 3 minutes.
A whale of a ball game in North Montgomery.
Dean Hart with a jump shot. A body foul called against Ben DeFries. Got all ball on the top. DeFries picks up foul number 2, but got him with a body.
He knew it. You saw him shaking his head. I got him.
6 fouls. Dean Hart has 2, looking for number 3. Got it. 42-34. An 8-point advantage at this point for McCutcheon.
Dean Hart, a 73% shooter from the line.
Can't get the next one.
He's got a strange-looking shot. It always looks like it's going to be short.
Rose got the rebound. And Matt Kramer to his brother Scott. He's picked up by Dean Hart. Brandon Rose. McCutcheon content to work the ball around. They're in no hurry to put the ball on the backboard. Matt Kramer for 3.
When the shot presents itself, they'll take it. It's not an offense where there's a near steal. It's not an offense where they look just totally for layups when they bring it outside.
Jason Hardebeck looking for the 3. Is not going to get there. Big rebound by Muller. He takes it back up strong. It won't go. Tries the tip. No. This time Metzger's got it inside, and he's going to be fouled by Scott Kramer. A wild exchange under the basket. Muller had 2 opportunities that couldn't get either one of them to fall. Finally, Metzger, the little guy, got the rebound, and he was fouled by Scott Kramer. Scott has 2 fouls, and that's number 7 on the team, but this will be a 2-shot opportunity for Metzger.
From here on out, CC is going to have that 1-and-1 situation, and they need to get at least the front end of that to get some free points while the clock's not running.
Hester had 6 points in the first half on 2 3-pointers, and they came back-to-back. No good on the first free throw. You saw Rick Peckinpah a moment ago. Has his son, number 24, Chad, on the court. It's always good to have the coach's son out there because they really seem to be tied together in terms of what they want to get done during the...
CC get a lot more aggressive.
Almost to the point where it looks like they're going to try to foul. They have 2 fouls to give before the 1-and-1.
CC has been drawn out of the 3-2 and are now in the man-to-man, and it's a scramble.
Advantage of a turnover by McCutcheon.
Hardebeck went up, looked like he was going to try to foul, and Moreland told him, no, don't foul. So CC has some kind of plan here.
Scott Kramer can't get it, but the rebound goes to Ben DeFries, who puts it back into the basket. 47-35.
Even though the Cowboys are up a lot, they continue to blitz, and that's what McCutcheon does right now. Up 12, still play that pressure defense.
McCutcheon will have the ball when we come back. The score is 47-35 in favor of the Mavs.
Travel the world without leaving Lafayette. Imperial Travel presents Travel Expo 94 at Howard Johnson's on March 18th and 19th. Experience what it's like to visit the Cayman Islands in Thailand. Find out what it's like to ride a riverboat, a train, or board a cruise ship. Admission is free with door prizes totaling over $100,000 in travel and gifts. Win round trip
to Munich, Zurich, Rome, many other exciting destinations.
Attend Travel Expo 94 on March 18th and 19th, brought to you by Imperial Travel.
Here are back-to-back turnovers that we saw just a moment ago, Mike.
Peckinpah saw DeFries inside, threw it a second late, and then the line. Sees Muller, but doesn't see Brandon Rose, who gets it right back from McCutcheon. CC needs to capitalize. If they get turnovers, they need to capitalize. With 3:26 left, down 12, it's not getting any earlier in the game.
Central Catholic has 4 team fouls, so they have a couple to give. McCutcheon has already put CC into the 1-and-1, and the possession arrow points to CC. And we'll have another timeout as Central Catholic was able to thwart the efforts of Chad Peckinpah to get the ball inside, so the coaches will have another 45 seconds or so to plot a strategy here to try and win the ball game for their respective teams, as the Mavericks lead it by 12, and a lot like some other ball games that we've seen here in the tournament. 1 minute, McCutcheon is up by 2 or 3 points, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're up by 12.
As I threw that out to Rick Peckinpah last night after the game, and he said he was surprised himself because he looked up and it was 34-30, but you get a steal, a couple of 3-pointers. The 3-point shot has done a lot in high school and college basketball. 2 or 3 threes can break open a game, but then again, 2 or 3 threes can bring a team right back.
Dan Muller has not been able to be the force that he normally is. He has worked hard, but he has been stopped many times by the defensive efforts of McCutcheon. Has only 8 points in the ball game. He has 9 rebounds, done a nice job off the backboard, but well off that 24-point average that he's carried all season long.
Well, you hate to see that, but it's usually what happens when one team loses. The best player on the team a lot of times gets thwarted by the other team's defense.
CC now looking for the double team if they can find it. Kramer with the ball against Dienhart. Finds an opening down the middle, brings it back out to DeFries, as Central Catholic just is not going to be able to match the quickness of McCutcheon. Dienhart will draw the foul.
He gave a good acting job. He knows the Oscars are coming. He gave a good acting job on that, but picked up the foul.
It's his first, and there you see the collision between the two of them. Dean Hart not in the right position to draw the charging foul.
Almost looked like Kramer stepped on his foot.
And Nick Rose will get a foul right quick. That'll be team foul number 6. The next time around, it'll be 1-1.
Celine and Hardebeck ran into each other trying to get their defensive assignments and nearly knocked each other out right on the court.
Chad Peckinpah to throw it in for McCutcheon. Mavericks leading it by 12. This is Matt Kramer.
Well, under 3 minutes now, CC is going to have to come up with some kind of plan to get some points. They're going to need to foul or do something.
Ball is out of bounds still to McCutcheon. Peckinpah will put it back in play. Brandon Rose takes it in the backcourt, gives it to Matt Kramer. McCutcheon very happy to play cat and mouse at this point. Hardebeck draws the foul. There's Dave Worland. Knows his club's in big trouble. 2:46 remaining as Hardebeck gets foul number 2. And now McCutcheon will go to the line for 1-1. They lead by 12.
CC's got to hope that McCutcheon doesn't hit their free throws, and then maybe the Knights can get some kind of offense going. Their Hardebeck at least made an effort for the ball, but too much body.
Metzger, number 12, comes back into the lineup. He'll replace Dean Hart. Dean Hart, adjusted junior, 155 pounds, 5'9". Averaged just a little over 4 points ball game this year. Matt Kramer with his first, and he gets it. He'll get one more. 48-35.
Matt's got 17 points right now, and that's about at his average, 2 points above his average. He comes in averaging 15 a game.
Kramer gets his 18th, makes it 49-35. And the pressure is still on for the Mavs. Muller with the ball. Rose from way outside, can't get it. Metzger with a rebound, will put it up off the rim and no good, but the foul will go against Chad Peckinpah, who was not trying to commit a foul, just couldn't get out of the way.
Chad's been in that position a couple of times tonight, kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time. Metzger, too bad he couldn't have got that shot to go, but at least he had a chance at 2 points with the clock stopped at 2:28 left in the game.
Here's a look at it. Peckinpah sees him coming, and he really opened the right shoulder. Had he left the shoulder closed, he might have had a chance for an offensive foul, but nonetheless, Metzger goes to the free throw line, and he gets his first one.
Metzger just 2 points in the second half.
8 on the ball game. Has one more free throw. 2:28 left. It's good, and it's 49-37. And the Knights will put on their brand of pressure. Chad Peckinpah finds Scott Kramer, and the pressure is broken.
Well, both the Kramers and Peckinpah are very athletic and dribble very well, and that's what you need a lot of times. If you can stay away from the double team, you can dribble out of trouble.
CC doing everything they can to try to get the Matt Kramer back at the line.
Peckinpah's got to feel good right now. Up 12, 2 minutes left, and McCutcheon's never won the Jeff Sectional, Lafayette Sectional.
Kramer nails his first one. Dave Worland had a good season this year, 16-5. Kramer now with 19 points on the ball game. Puts it up and good. 51-37, 2:06 remaining. Scott Kramer with the steal, and the foul is going to go on Rose.
Well, Nick Rose fouls. He fouls. He lets you know he's in the game.
So McCutcheon will travel back to the free throw line.
For another 1-and-1.
Here's a replay. Rose just threw it. Never saw Scott Kramer, who comes in, does a good job going up at the bucket to get the foul while he's shooting to get 2 free throws, so he can at least relax on the first one.
A couple of things happen there. You've got a ball coming at you, and the guy that's going to catch it stops. You've got to continue to the ball until you catch it. A lot of times when you do, it'll commit.
Now 53-37.
Central Catholic
looking for a miracle here to try to get back in this ball game.
Hardebeck from 3-point, no good, and Chad Peckinpah pulls it down. Rose will get another foul as Chad Peckinpah will go back to the free throw line for McCutcheon. 1:46 remaining in the fourth.
Well, the Knights aren't giving up, which is a sign of a good team. They're continuing the battle. It's just a lot of pressure, and you look at the players right now. The McCutcheon players look fairly fresh. Not to say they can play another game, but they look fairly fresh. But CC look pretty spent at this point.
Peckinpah's free throw is no good. Hardebeck with the rebound. He'll try to take it all the way with a jump shot off the rim and no good. And guess who on the foul? Nick Rose, number 22. This time it's Matt Kramer. And he'll walk to the other end for another 1-1.
It's not hard to believe that Nick Rose had his eye opened up last night. Boy, Rose has already got 5 fouls.
Coming up today. Fouls as the Mavericks from scoring a couple times inside, and that time just putting them at the line, hoping they'll miss the front end of their 1-and-1. 53-37. 1:39 remaining in the fourth. Matt Kramer gets another free throw.
5 in a row he scored from a line.
Mavericks really stretching this game out from the free throw line. Kramer looking for 22, doesn't get it. Has 21 points in the ball game. 54-37. Muller from three-point land can't get it there. Here's Matt Kramer with the ball. And he's going back to the free throw line. Is Jason Hardebeck commits the foul. Hardebeck and Metz.
It's interesting in there and deal with Dave Stormboy right now. There's a minute 24 left.
And CC's down 17. Only scored 6 points in this quarter, so I think the end is here.
Dave Borland, very inspirational. A great competitor, and I guarantee you that he'll coach right down to the last second of the ball game. Kramer with another free throw. 22nd point of the game. 55-37. Kramer with another free throw. That's 10 out of 14 for him this evening. 23 points on the ball game. 1:22 remaining. The score is 56-37. A 19-point lead for McCutcheon. Metzger for 3, and Central Catholic. Remaining in the championship game of the Lafayette Sectional, and it looks like the Mavericks are going to move on to the regional tournament.
Right now, CC.
Metzger's third of the game, and CC fans have to be wondering
Where's that been all night?
Well, it's from where we're sitting, it's easy to tell what happened, and that's the defense of McCutcheon has been very, very sticky all night long. They've done an excellent job
of knowing especially where Dan Muller is to keep him out of the attack, and they've also been very close to Jason Hardebeck.
Well, the pressure from McCutcheon from the outset. Scott Kramer, Matt Kramer, Chad Peckinpah, all 6'2", when Matt Metzger's 5'10", Dean Hart's 5'9", and Hardebeck 6'2", so there's a height differentiation.
Matt Kramer will inbound the ball, gives it to Peckinpah.
Behind the out-of-bounds line.
Stolen by CC. That's Hardebeck for three. Off the rim and no good. The ball's taken off by Kramer. Matt Kramer will be fouled by Stapleton.
It's a fine play by Matt Metzger, though, falling out of bounds. And the stands are really close here on the out of bounds, so he could have went headlong into the stands.
Brian Stapleton will get foul number 1. Matt Kramer, surprise, surprise, will go back to the free throw line. He's been there 14 times already in the ball game. Has hit 10. Jay Schmuck has come back into the ball game, replacing Hardebeck for CC. Kramer very short on that one.
He's probably tired of shooting free throws, wearing his arm out.
This is Metzger. Dean Hart looking for the three, can't find it. Stapleton from the top of the key for three, it won't go. Scott Kramer is going to be fouled, and it's going to be on Metzger. Metzger fouled twice that time. The outside official was ready to call him for a push under the basket, but McCutcheon got the rebound, and they did not call that one, but then he reached in and committed the foul. So again, the Mavs will go to the free throw line as number 20, Tom Vaughn, comes into the lineup, replacing Dean Hart. Metzger will come out of the lineup. He'll be replaced by Mark Elsner. And Dan Muller, an outstanding senior campaign, just couldn't get it done tonight. He is replaced by Dallas Wilson.
It's unfortunate for Muller to end his high school career with just 8 points, but I think we'll hear a lot more from him in the college ranks, and he's got a good shot at making the Indiana All-Star team.
Scott Kramer just scored his 12th point from the free throw line. 57-40 is the score currently. Big Dan Muller is going to be a good college athlete. Great jumping ability, a good shooter. And now McCutcheon will clear the bench. DeVries will come out. Matt Kramer will come out. Chad Peckinpah will come.
Sectional until tonight. It looks that way. Up 17, 47 seconds left. It's
pretty good to say. I think they'll come away with it.
I think that's a good statement. They have played outstanding basketball here in this tournament. Their first game was against Harrison. Worked very hard to win that one. Came back last night against Carroll in a game that, well, for 3 quarters was pretty close as Carroll hung in there. Then all of a sudden that McCutcheon spurt jumped up and bit the Cougars, and that was the end of that one. And then again, CC hung in there pretty well tonight. McCutcheon again had a spurt, and now they're looking at a 17-point lead with just 47 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Well, through the tournament, McCutcheon showed it can play different styles of basketball. Harrison didn't mind running up and down the court, and McCutcheon showed that they could do some things in the half court against Carroll.
Scott Kramer, one more from the free throw line. It won't go. Rebound taken down by Wilson. This is Stapleton to the basketball. Back out front. Schmuck will try the three-pointer. It won't go.
In a couple of years, Schmuck will tell his friends that was oh so close to going in.
Travis Brown will come in, replacing Scott Kramer. Other scores, Twin Lakes 70, Rensselaer 43. Benton Central beat Seeger 73-45. South Putnam 57. Rockville 34.
Southmont beats Crawfordville 84-81 in double overtime. Mike Ward had 30. Matt McCarty had 38. Southmont's first ever sectional title in 23 years. That must have been quite a ball game.
Looked like a dandy. Southmont doing a job against Crawfordsville, and they'll be excited about moving into the regional round. 35 seconds left. Elsner for three-pointer. It won't go. This is Wise with the basketball. He'll hold it up. Tries to find with Johnson. Can't get it. Back outside to Travis Brown.
This is good experience for the players on the team that'll come back for next year and the next couple of years, getting a chance to play in a sectional final.
It's always nice to get that opportunity. The free throw line is Kurt Williams. He's a junior at 6'3".
All these players work so hard all year to get here, even the boys on the end of the bench, so it's nice to see them get some playing time.
Williams, a good free throw shooter. 86% on the season. Nails that one. It's 58-40. Couple of more Mavs coming into the lineup. Andrew Williams, number 22, is in. And also number 12, Ian Foster, comes into the lineup, replacing Johnson.
All the Mavericks have the same haircut. I wonder if they met before the year and said, if you're going to play for us, you need to get a haircut like this.
That one won't fall. CC on the attack. 15 seconds left. Jumper in the middle is good by Smuck. Timeout is called by the official.
CC's not done. Dave Orland's got a couple of moves left. He's going to bring Stapleton back into the ball game.
Stapleton will replace Smuck. Only 8 seconds left. 58-42. Off the board, no good. CC down with the rebound. And that's the end of the championship game as the Mavs win their first Lafayette sectional. The final score, 58-42, as the coaches meet at center court. And the Maverick student body has now gone out onto the Crawley Athletics Center floor. And we'll be back for all the excitement from the Crawley Athletics Center at Jefferson High School in just a moment.
Heard about the treehouse in Monticello. It has quite a reputation, especially among folks who appreciate good food. Hi, I'm Bill Fraser. Let me tell you a little bit more about the treehouse. The treehouse's own choice meat is cut fresh every day. Recipes are prepared from scratch, and the salad bar features the finest salad dressings and homemade soup. For good food fast, not fast food, come to the treehouse. Ah, the good food restaurant.
Located on Highway 24, across from Twin Lakes Schools.
In this age of big corporate banks, it's nice to know there's a bank with a hometown flavor, where every customer is important, where personal service and a kind smile come naturally, even on a Saturday, and where some accounts earn interest surprisingly fast. The bright spot in banking, Bright National Bank, member FDIC.
For those of you who want to buy a house, I've got good news. Showcase Home.
Don't buy a house in the dark. Into the light, Showcase Home.
See all the advantages of quality construction in a controlled environment in just a few short weeks. Be in your own home in 90 days. Come view the different options available in our models and custom build your home with 30 different floor plans to choose from. Pick out your new home today at Showcase Homes on Route 38 across from Kmart.
Carquest, America's auto parts giant, puts the buying power of over 2,000 stores to work to bring you down-to-earth values right here in your own neighborhood.
Visit General Automotive Supply. Locations to help you. 67 More Parkway West in West Lafayette and 304 South Earl Avenue in Lafayette.
We're back at the Crawley Athletic Center, and the Mavericks are celebrating at center court as they have won their first sectional tournament here. And they are very excited as they're getting ready to present the game ball and the sectional trophy. We're going to go down now to Mike Bridges, who has Matt Kramer.
All right, I'm standing here on the side of the court with Matt Kramer. He had a wonderful ball game through in 22 points. How does it feel to come away with a sectional title?
Well, we've been waiting for this for a year now, and last year we got beat by Jeff by 20 points, and we waited 365 days to come back here. It feels great. Played our best game of the year, and free throws went in, and it feels great.
What did you guys do on Dan Muller? He only had 8 points in the game. Did you do anything specific to stop him?
Well, Coach said that if your man is outside, you kind of lean in a little bit, and his triple team, double team pretty much won the game, and we let him shoot the outside shot, and that was the whole game plan.
How much better can this team get?
We still have some improvement to do, but I don't know, but we played a great game today, and we'll try to improve a little bit more.
He did have indeed a fine ball game. He and his brother both, along with the rest of the
Mavs, who were working hard to try to stop Dan Muller, and had a pretty good night of it, as the Mavericks have worked very, very hard to get where they are tonight. And in just a moment, we're going to have an opportunity to talk with their head coach, Rick Peckinpah. And Mike, if you're ready, take it away.
Back here at side court with Rick Peckinpah, victorious in McCutcheon's first Lafayette sectional. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels great. I mean, it's just like winning the first one down in Northmont. It's a whole different ball game, new sectional. And I'm just so proud of these guys. They came through tonight. They were here last year, and they weren't going to be denied the chance to come back and win it this year. They played super.
Talk about the defensive job you did on Dan Muller. He only had 8 points.
Well, our big people, you know, have been maligned a little bit early. Brandon Rose, Benji Freeze, just played well the game tonight. I just banged Dan inside all night. Just kept him from getting anything going. And I had to get a lot of credit to those two, and Jimmy Johnson and Andy Wise coming in and doing the job for us.
How does it feel now going up to the regionals?
Oh, well, you know, we're going to be home now. I mean,
Come back home.
these kids aren't going to be satisfied, I don't think, right here. We want to continue on. I've told this team they could be a lot farther. They could be down in Indianapolis in about 3 more weeks. And we're going to come back here next Saturday and try to get that job done, too.
Okay, well, we'll see you then. Back up to Bob.
Okay, Mike, Rick Peckinpah very, very happy with the way his Mavericks played here tonight against Central Catholic. Again, let me tell you the scores from around the area. Twin Lakes was a winner tonight, 70-43 over Rensselaer. Benton Central beat Seegers 73-65. It was South Putnam 57 and Rockville 34. And Southmont in double overtime beat Crawfordsville 84-81. So a lot of good basketball around the area, as the sectional tournaments at 64 sites have
Mike will have all of the scores from the sectionals around the state.
And they're throwing the bright lights again on Mike down there, and I see he's got another interview. This time he's going to be with Scott Kramer. So, Mike?
I'm not with Matt Kramer again. This time I'm with Scott Kramer. Had 15 points in the ball game. How does it feel?
Feels great. Waited a long time for this. I played a lot of basketball. I'm just glad our senior year we finally won.
Now, you and Matt are both great golfers, and this year you guys played outstanding basketball. What brought you to the forefront?
Oh, I don't know. I think teamwork. I mean, we really worked together as a team tonight. I mean, we struggled the first 2 games, but tonight we really picked it up, worked as a team, and we played great.
Now, at the start of the fourth quarter, you were up 4, and then you kind of shut down CC. Did you do anything different in the fourth quarter? Just keep doing what brought you this far?
We just kept doing what brought us this far. I mean, we didn't try to do anything special. We just picked it up, and we wanted it real bad, and that's why we won it.
How much better can this McCutcheon team get?
Well, I mean, there's still room for improvement. I mean, we have no limitations. I mean, who knows how far we can go.
Okay. Hey, thanks a lot. Let's go back to Bob.
Okay, Mike, thank you very much. We'll have a lot more here from the Crawley Athletic Center, where the McCutcheon Mavericks have won their first Lafayette sectional. We'll come back in just a moment.
I like winners. Winners do things right. So don't ever give me a soggy pizza with skimpy ingredients. Give me the best. Pizza King. Look at this. Crisp crust, loaded with tons of toppings. Just the way I like it. To win, you got to do things right. Pizza King pizza is a winner.
The truth is in the taste.
When it comes to automobiles, there's only one. Bob Rohrman.
It's spring fever, and new cars are popping up everywhere. When the fever is high, our prices are low. And if you buy a new car from a Bob Rohrman dealership, you'll get a free $600 customer care package, plus 3 months before that first payment. The Bob Rohrman dealerships on the Sycamore Parkway, Lafayette.
Over the years, Home Hospital has built a fine reputation for helping Lafayette families grow. We introduced the area's only neonatal intensive care unit. We were first to provide birthing suites and to offer epidural anesthesia. All this stacks up to a very good reason why home hospital babies now number in the thousands, and why that number continues to go up and up.
Home hospital at the heart of healthcare.
Well, there's what's going to happen next week. The Lafayette Regional Championship. We'll be back here again, and it should be a dandy. We'll see who's going to come in, who's going to play, and possibly see the McCutcheon Mavericks again next Saturday night at 8 o'clock right here on TV 18. The Mavericks won this one by a final score of 38 to 42. And the Boilermakers tomorrow will try to be on the top end of the score when they play at Michigan. That game will appear at 2 o'clock on Channel 18 right after the CBS Big Ten game. And the Boilermakers trying to gain a share of the lead in the Big Ten as we draw to a close. Only 2 games remaining for Purdue. They play at Michigan Sunday, then they play Illinois at home either Saturday or Sunday next week. And we'll have that information for you Monday evening on the 6 o'clock news. As you take a look at the Mavericks, they had a big ball game tonight. Let's take a look at some of the stats as we have them. McCutcheon shot 20 of 45 from the field for 44%. They were 14 out of 22 from the free throw line, 64%, and really did a job as they came down in the final minutes. That's where they stretched that lead out. They ended up with 36 rebounds on the ball game and 9 turnovers. Central Catholic, 13 of 46, 30%. Just couldn't find the stroke tonight. They were 11 out of 14 from the free throw line, a healthy 77%. Ended up with 28 rebounds, so they were out rebounded by 8. Had 11 turnovers in the contest. For Central Catholic, the leading scorer was Jason Hardebeck with 13. Metzger ended up with 12. Muller had 8 in the ball game. Dienhart 3. Schmuck had 2 right at the end, and Rose had 4. For McCutcheon, the leading scorer for them and in the ball game was Matt Kramer. He ended with 23. Scott Kramer, his brother, had 15. Chad Peckinpah had 5. Ben DeFries had 8. Williams had 1. Brown had 2. And Johnson had 4. So it was a McCutcheon victory, as the picture is being taken that will be hung on the wall somewhere in the McCutcheon High School around the athletic area, as they denote their first championship of the Lafayette Sectional. And Mike, I think the game was everything that we expected, and the Central Catholic Knights just could not battle all the way through with McCutcheon. They just ran out of steam.
They just didn't have the athletic ability up and down the roster that McCutcheon had with the Mavericks' pressure defense. That's eventually going to wear a team down. The first time the teams met, they went to the fourth quarter.
And walked away with the win. And it's a McCutcheon team that I think can go pretty far in the tournament, just
Depending on who next teams that they will play. But this team is full of confidence and feels like they can beat anybody in state. I bet.
One of the things that the Mavericks do, I think, that gives them a lot of strength on the court is their ability to go full court
with the pressure
to change the pressure up to the half court and really do a job with it and turn those defensive plays into offensive points.
You need to get points off turnovers. McCutcheon did it as well as anybody in the county. And, you know, like we said during the broadcast, Rick Peckinpah has got a great situation. He can plug a lot of players into the system and get some production out of them. You can bring Travis Brown in at times and have 4 guards out there playing two guards, 2 forward positions. So it's a good situation that he has with the athletic ability over at McCutcheon.
10 to 3, cutting the nets down and making sure that he gets a piece for himself. Remember, tomorrow, it's first Indiana at Ohio State on CBS, and then the Raycom game following that at 2 o'clock is Michigan at Purdue. Be sure to tune in for that, and if the Indiana game runs a little long, we'll go right to the Purdue game at the end of it. So the final score here is 58-42. McCutcheon wins their first tournament ever. In